So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. Just allowing the body to fall into place. We begin to let go of attending to the outside world, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constraining our awareness just to the body and mind. We begin to concentrate our awareness into the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air as it moves into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind. And then, without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and to place it gently but firmly, again and again on the breath. And then, when the mind feels more calm, and generate a broad altruistic motivation for our time. Taking a moment to intentionally widen our circle of concern, trying to embrace countless sentient beings within the field of our practice, seeing ourselves as the recipient of this vast interconnected web of kindness that's flowing to us from all other sentient beings. So I think of all of the ways in which we have benefited, are benefiting, and will benefit from sentient beings. I think that the fact that we live in relative safety, relative peace, we have access to clean water, nutritious food. We can access resources in our societies. Everything that we have and enjoy, all of our own skills and abilities, our knowledge, even our own good qualities, our kindness, our compassion, our generosity, our patience, our ethics, is all dependent upon sentient beings. So we think that these incredibly kind sentient beings, although just like oneself, they deeply wish to be happy, deeply wish to be free of suffering, that obstacles and negativities in their lives are pouring down like rain. So I think now is the time, now that I have all of the necessary inner and outer conditions to make progress on my spiritual path, now is the time to work for their benefit, to develop myself, my mind, my capacity to be able to use that to help them to secure their welfare. That will depend upon genuinely transforming my mind, becoming deeply familiar with virtue, turning away from non virtue, so that naturally and spontaneously I become familiar with the states of mind that are responsible for these beneficial activities. So I take that process of our own transformation as the purpose of our time. And then with that motivation, one way of training the mind in loving love and compassion is through the method of taking and giving. So imagine oneself in somewhat of an open space and think in your own life of a difficulty that you experience from time to time. And then imagine that there is a future version of yourself seated facing you, is presently experiencing that difficulty. So observe yourself in meditation while you are observing the suffering of this future version of yourself in front. And notice in your own mind how easily, how deeply the wish for yourself to be free of that suffering arises. Take a moment to stabilize that subjective experience of fervently wishing, aspiring for yourself to be happy, to be free of that suffering. And imagine the suffering of this version of yourself in front is like a smoke or a pollution surrounding you, that version of you. And think that due to the force of your own compassionate wish, that smoke, that pollution begins to be drawn off. It begins to funnel toward oneself, seated in meditation. It moves faster and faster, funneling into a point at the heart center, where it penetrates the body and begins to absorb into a dark seed, like a mustard seed, at the heart center. This dark seed represents your mind of self cherishing, self grasping, the mind that doesn't want to take on this suffering. So we give this suffering to the self cherishing mind. We imagine that this dark seed becomes more and more dense. When we feel as though the suffering from the visualization in front has been completely removed, absorbed into the dark seed at one's heart, and visualize that this dark seed implodes under that weight, and it's replaced by a much larger orb of golden white light, representing your highest potential. And then think that you not only wish for yourself not to suffer, you wish to be truly happy. And imagine sending out light rays from this orb of white, golden white light at the heart, which surround and absorb into the visualization in front, carrying with it all forms of temporal and ultimate sources of happiness, satisfaction, contentment, peace, including all of the realizations of the path, up to and including enlightenment. Visualize yourself, this future version, receiving in a detailed way all of these sources of happiness. And then recognize that oneself is not unique. There are countless sentient beings suffering right now in similar ways, in ways that are more intense, more prolonged, So imagine a group of two or three such sentient beings in front of you experiencing some difficulty, whatever sort of suffering that you would like to work with, something that's touching your heart. And imagine that they, in front of you, are experiencing that difficult circumstance. And once again, witnessing that, try to generate those same intense aspirations for them to be free. And once again, thinking of visualizing that suffering as a smoke or a pollution, and going through the same steps, visualizing it being magnetized to oneself due to the force of one's own compassionate wish, seeing it being drawn off, funneling toward oneself, allowing any discomfort to just be in the mind, moving through that discomfort as you watch this pollution funneling faster and faster toward oneself. Visualizing that, again, penetrating the heart center, absorbing into the self cherishing mind. And then, when all of that suffering has been removed, that dark seed at the heart implodes and is replaced by a large orb of golden white light. And then, as you wish for these sentient beings to be truly happy, you yourself extend light rays toward them, enveloping and absorbing into them, carrying again all of those temporal and ultimate sources of true lasting happiness. Visualizing them receiving and enjoying all of those sources in a detailed way. And then conclude with the understanding that you yourself have the capacity to train the mind to embrace countless sentient beings with love and compassion. And absorb your mind in that determination. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which in turn has generated positive energy in your mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of all sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Ven.Losang life be completely dispelled. May I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.